Welcome back, everybody. We're about to dive into our third and final adventure of the evening, one that I am calling Mushroom Mixup. But before we do so, we're going to take a brief moment and introduce our characters. We got a full party of level ones. That's exciting. It's been a while since we've seen that. Although all on some veteran players here, so I'm excited to see what everyone brought to the table. So we're just going to go down the line and get to know everyone a little bit first. I don't have the names. So starting off, we have Akta Fireblood. Akta, would you care to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you bring to the table?
I am Akta Fireblood. I am a Tiefling Warlock. And, I'm just dead happy to be here.
Really? Well, for one thing, I'm very glad to hear that, too. When I hear, Tiefling Warlock, you seem to have a very positive attitude, which, I respect. What's kind of Akta all about?
Akta is really flirty.
Okay.
She easily falls in and out of love.
Mm-hmm.
And is just falls prey to her pretty face almost every time.
Well, there are certainly a lot of interesting. There's certainly a lot of interesting characters around the land of DnDTime for Akta to fall in and out of love with. A lot of other tieflings as well. So, what caused Akta to want to join Bartholomew's crew? Was she in search of new love, or?
My patron demanded it of me.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean that'll happen to you. You got to sometimes, in exchange for those powers, there are some things that you have to do, and sometimes it's work for a greedy old wizard. Akta, it's good to have you tonight. On the Warlock train, as it looks like we have 3 Warlocks tonight, which is pretty cool. Coming up next, we have Mamei. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent, Mamei. Tell us a bit about yourself. Welcome.
Hello there. I am Mamei. I am 15 years old, and I joined Bartholomew's band of adventurers due to the untimely death of my parent.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, Mamei. Are you still kind of struggling with this loss, or at this point have you kind of gotten over it and that's why you've chosen to join up?
I have gotten over it. But as one needs money in this world, I didn't have much choice, so.
Okay. Well, again, certainly a place where you can make money, as well as you're in good company, it would seem, tonight. As we have another Warlock, the third of the trifecta here, coming up next. Mamei, it's good to have you tonight. We have Billy Humanman. Billy, welcome.
Hello. I am Billy Humanman. I am definitely a human.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not a cursed blade.
I mean,
enthralling a human.
Yeah,
why would you
I don't even know why
thing?
I don't even know why that would even be an issue to begin with, Billy. Yeah, I mean, that just seems like a weird thing to bring up when you're introducing yourself.
Why would you bring that up? That's
yeah, you know what?
That's ridiculous.
That was weird of me to do. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm losing myself, I suppose, a little bit. Now,
yes.
Billy, tell us a bit about why have you decided to join up with Bartholomew's adventuring group?
Oh, well, I, human, like to be around other humans and powerful individuals that I can meet and develop friendships with.
It seemed like you were going to say something else there.
No,
for a second.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Not.
Again, I don't know. It's something. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit tired tonight.
Haha, you are a funny one. Your humor is very good.
Well, thank you. That's actually really sweet of you to say, Billy. Well, Billy, Billy the human. I look forward to seeing you do just kind of some regular human stuff.
I'm very good at human stuff.
All right. Welcome, Billy. And last but not least, we have Cawly Caveran, which I believe I pronounced correctly, but correct me if I'm wrong. Cawly, welcome. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cawly Caveran, and I am the advocate of this current group from Pete and Jeremy's D&D Adventure Time, who tonight we end up gathering a party of 3 cursed souls who have ended up wheeling, dealing their ways to power. We end up taking a look at Akta, the Fireblood. Truly, there is fire in that blood, and in more places than one, because there is an individual who is looking for love, and will find it in all the right and all the wrong places, depending on which way you take it or want it. But we end up taking a look at Billy Humanman. Totally human. In fact, more human than human, you might end up saying. Truly understanding the depths of the human condition.
Wait. More human than human?
Perhaps you have to understand the supremacy of his humanism. Of something a lowly kobold like me could never possibly understand, true. But through him, I have come to understand your human ways. And because of that, I am also grateful to his benevolence. But let us not end up forgetting Mamei, whatever will end up coming out of your lips, you will know their name, for they have found strength within. They end up finding the death of their parents and found themselves steeled for the hardened adventures that Bartholomew the Great will end up sending us upon. And here you will end up finding it, being able to watch it on Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime every single Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, here is where the action is.
Now, Cawly, that was an extra introduction, and maybe if, like, at some point, if you could just take over for me, that would be wonderful. I do have one objection to one thing that you said in that whole run, though.
Oh, you object?
And that is, I believe you referred to yourself as a lowly kobold. Now, as a member of Bartholomew's adventuring crew, surely you are more than just a lowly kobold, and I think you've proven it here with your mastery of oration and words.
Well, you have to understand, it is of my form of study. You see, I am an advocate, nothing more. A individual who brings forth the worries and wonder and the merriment. For the individuals that I end up traveling with this day are truly one of a kind. Some of Bartholomew's best and brightest, soon to be growing, and you will know their names. I will be sure of it.
And I suppose their legend will begin now, as the 4 of you find yourselves as we begin our adventure. Actually, as we begin our adventure, we take a brief moment to locate Akta's sheet, which... Oh, I gave Akta's sheet to the wrong person. I got it right now, Scott. Sorry about that. You should have your sheet now. Is it there? Scotty?
Oh, all good.
Okay, great. Anyway, we begin our adventure. You find yourselves in Bartholomew's shop. As you all enter in here for your first adventure. Greetings, adventurers. Welcome. I believe all of you are relatively new. I am Bartholomew, as you are no doubt already aware. And I have an interesting mission for all of you today.
Greetings, old mortal. Friend.
Yes, your name was, I saw it on the register, Billy Humanman.
Yes.
There's something familiar about you, Billy. I can't quite place it.
What are those faces?
Perhaps it is. You do have a very familiar. Well, actually, part of the reason why I've called you here today is because you are not familiar. I had a personal request. I needed something done subtly by people who were not yet affiliated with my adventuring crew. And should you complete this quest that I myself am giving you, you will be welcomed to the group in full, and I will reward you with the appropriate money as is general compensation. So it's a bit of an off-the-books adventure for your first, if that is acceptable for the first of you, for the group of you, although it will be on the books once it is completed.
Bartholomew Trees, understand. You may not know us, but we in fact know you. You are the one who is seeking out the talent. And if you see the three beside me, the three that tower over me, they are, in fact, the quintessential missing linchpin to this whole operation, and you will end up understanding this.
Well, I hope that is the case. But perhaps, despite this, at the moment, I do not. So I will need you to carry this out a bit discreetly. You see, I need you to travel to the Baradac, or rather, if you're unfamiliar with my methods, I will transport you to the Baradac. You see, I need a rather difficult-to-obtain mushroom. It is called the bulbous blue cap, is the name of it. It's very useful in certain potions that I enjoy brewing. You can get some very interesting flavored healing potions if you utilize it properly. But it is only grown by a single woman, as far as I'm aware, and that is the Maven of Mushrooms. She is a powerful witch. She lives deep within the swamp, and I would require you to go and purchase one of these items for me. And he pulls out of his bag just kind of a large sack of gold. There is 500 gold pieces within this bag. I trust that that should be more than the necessary price. I only need a singular cap. I would go myself, but unfortunately, due to some personal issues with her that I'm not going to get into at the moment, I cannot go myself. Do you think that you could accomplish this task?
Yes, I like flavors. Flavors are my favorite.
Which is your favorite of the flavor, or all flavors are your favorite?
Yes.
I have some very interesting flavors you may want to try later that most people won't eat then, so that will be excellent. Okay. Are the rest of you amenable to this arrangement?
I will do anything that a good-looking guy such as yourself.
Well, I mean, thank you.
How powerful would you say this vessel is? Which? It's my accent.
Oh, this is strange, something very familiar. I'm very powerful. I mean, not as powerful as me. I would say more powerful than Roderick, which is obviously most people are. More powerful than a younger dragon, but less powerful than an elder dragon.
Very good. I will like this.
Ah, very good.
It does not matter their power. We end up having three who are capable of dealing with this one way or the other. Make no mistake, Bartholomew. It will be handled, and of course, discretion is our middle name. No one will hear a single thing. We shall be silent as the night. No one will be aware. Do you hear that? No one will be aware.
Indeed, that you are. I will have faith in you and your words now. And again, if you comes up that you are members of my adventuring crew, she will likely refuse you business. So that is important to keep subtle. So again, that is. Do all of you remember what the mushroom I told you was?
The bulbous blue cap.
Yeah, well done, well done. That was a test, and you did a very good job. Good years. Well, I suppose if there's nothing else, I will send you upon your way.
Yes, let us travel.
Very good, very good. And with a snap of his fingers, and a brief moment of kind of vertigo, strange vertigo, as the scenery around you just shifts, and you are now ankle deep in just kind of thick swampland.
Bartholomew, we are willing to travel 1,000 miles. Oh my!
This is a very nice place. I should build a house here in a full city.
My socks are wet.
Looking around, it's just kind of there's kind of thick trees growing out of maybe about a foot of muck that your feet are dipped in. In the distance, a little way away, you can see a simple mud hut with a dull light kind of emanating from an open window. this presumably being the location that you were headed for. Around you can hear crickets chirping. There's just a terrible smell of decay all about you. You can hear distant kind of croaking of miscellaneous frogs as you now are deep within the Baradac Swamp.
I'm guessing the Maven of Mushrooms lives in that quaint home.
Your powers of observation are truly something to behold.
Yes, fellow human, I agree.
So
you
do you...
small lizard soul, I like you, even though I am a human.
Well, I very much appreciate that, Billy Humanman. It is high praise coming from you, truly, to have acknowledged one such as I.
Tiefling, you are a kindred spirit. Let us adventure.
Whatever you say, cutie.
Excellent. Do you all, I presume, proceed over to yonder hut?
As fast as my tiny legs will end up carrying me, I will lead forward and end up making sure that those who end up coming before our path will know of these three great adventurers of who I am their personal advocate.
Which isn't as fast as you may like, as you're kind of wading through the muck. It definitely slows down your movement, especially with those tiny legs that you mentioned. As you approach the hut, inside the smell of the swamp is almost muted. It's like you passed through a wall, and you get a much different one. It's very complex. There's a lot of sort of notes to it. There's almost a perfume-like quality as you begin moving closer. As you look into the hut, the door is just kind of cracked open a little bit, left open. The window is just wide, and within you can see a bit of a strange-looking creature. It appears to be a mushroom, but it moves. It has eyes on its face. It kind of gestures one of its long kind of root-like spores, one of its mycelia, and just kind of gestures as you enter in a very formal bow. It kind of crinkles its body forward. Then it says, hello there.
Good evening, madam. Might I end up presuming that you are, in fact, the Madame of Mushrooms, the mistress of fungi, the one and only to end up searching and buying the finest of wares when it ends up coming to the delectable and succulent art of the fungi?
Kind of looks at you for a little while. I am not the Maven. No, I am merely here to greet those who enter. The Maven watches over the circle, and the circle tends to the crop.
Oh, very, very well. Is there a way for us to end up encountering the maiden, as it were?
Well, perhaps we are a business. Perhaps there's something that I can acquire for you. Is there an item that you needed? What is your business here?
We are after a special mushroom called the bulbous blue cap.
Oh, those are a very expensive breed, but certainly the Maven grows them within. That being said, I was not anticipating such a rare request. The Maven holds those within her personal sanctum. You will have to meet her directly. My apologies.
Have no fear, Spore Brother. Our currency is valid.
We have no problems in meeting with the Maven.
Very well. A lot of the members of the circle within will be interrupted and distracted by the noise. I hope you don't mind this.
And out of the cap of this mushroom, you notice a bunch of kind of spores fill up the room. They're kind of yellow. They float around a little bit. It's difficult to avoid breathing them in, but would any of you care to try to avoid doing so? Or are you going to... Go ahead.
I'd like to take a bag and try to catch some in a bag.
All right, yeah, you pull some out. You grab some into the bag.
Wrap it with twine, put it in my pack.
All right, you hold on to these spores. As you all kind of take a moment and are surrounded by these spores, the mushroom continues to speak, but you no longer see their mouth moving. You now just hear in your mind that same voice.
You are now more one with the circle. You should be able to hear me. Raise your hand if you hear my voice.
I shall raise my hand.
Indeed.
Mamei raises her hand.
Atta has no chance. This tiny arm tries to grab hold of Atta's hand and raise it. Like the true champion that they are!
Which all of you now hear as Cawly says that. He said it verbally, but you also just heard it echoing within your heads. It was a little bit... yeah, it was kind of a lot, honestly. Just now, Cawly's already very boisterous voice projected directly into your brains.
I'm just going to make a point. I'm not going to say it, but there's a good chance that if you are, in fact, reading his thoughts in some way, he never shuts up. Ever.
Yeah, it's just going. It's just a Cawly story. The mushroom speaks up to you, Cawly.
If you could please quiet down. You are one with the circle now.
For some reason, Billy Humanman's thoughts are only in infernal, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
I have no idea what that is.
And Cawly, I assume your thoughts do not quiet down.
No. It is, in fact, quiet. What it is me expounding upon how silent this must be. We must end up being here silent. We must be quiet and not speak a word. We will not be disruptive. No, at no point can we end up being disruptive. For here we have 3 of the calmest minds in the entire planet. No, the circle will not come unto harm. Yada yada.
Let us move with haste. Already sounding a little bit exasperated. This mushroom leads you through a door at the back of this chamber and down some stairs of what appears to be packed earth. As you're progressing downwards into this kind of compound here, you see that the walls around you are layered with just different kinds of fungus. They are everywhere. The colors are iridescent and numerous. It's fairly pretty. It's also more of this kind of heavy perfumed smell mixed with sort of the smell of decay. The deeper in you go, eventually it leads into sort of a larger cavern where you can see more of these kind of sentient mushrooms going about just what appears to be daily chores. They are kind of moving around. They are like taking kind of rakes and like pulling large chunks of different mushrooms off of walls. You can see some of them are just sitting in a circle, just kind of emanating spores out around them. And as you get closer, you can hear in your own thoughts as you're getting near them. They just are all kind of like chanting in unison and just kind of speaking the same words. It's difficult to, it's almost like you've kind of walked past almost this like collective dream that all of these mushrooms are just sharing and swaying back and forth together and enjoying. He looks over to you.
They are melding, becoming one together among the fungus. The Maven is just over this way, and he's walking you through this mushroom, this very intricate mushroom farm. Eventually you reach a part in this kind of hollowed out basement-like room, very wide open. There are a few steps that seem to be made from much larger mushrooms. They seem solid. You've never seen any quite growing that big other than a couple that you saw outside of the Baradac that were almost tree-sized, but these are much more solid-looking than those ones. The Maven is within. I will go in and announce your presence, but I am sure that she will be able to meet with you shortly.
And the mushroom steps ahead and kind of disappears into the room up ahead. Is there anything that all of you would like to do as you're just kind of like chilling out here for a second?
Caveran is horribly disappointed because, as it was supposed to be mentioned, I will introduce you to... He was about to step forward and suddenly this mushroom thing had wandered off out of sight so quickly. Who knew that fungi did that? He's a little weirded out, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as part of the psychic link above the head of Billy Humanman, you can see a small image of Billy dancing around a bunch of flaming, what looks like possibly could be mushrooms.
Oh dear. As you begin kind of thinking this thought, you hear that kind of low humming from the mushrooms that are all just kind of swaying in the center of the room. One that is in particularly large, you see them stand up from the circle and start kind of shuffling towards you.
The image goes away and is replaced by just Billy Humanman smiling really big.
He speaks to you in
friendly.
It seems to be his voice, not the collective voice, as he speaks to you. You were really harshing our mellow for a second there.
Oh, I was just thinking of a joke.
I did not find it in particularly comical.
Oh, well, I didn't get to the punchline yet.
Oh.
It involved a lot of water and some moss.
Moss is a joke. It's not even a fungus, you know.
Yes. That and those damnable ferns.
Most funny. You had many of us concerned. And you see, he kind of turns and walks back and rejoins the circle. The one who is moving inside, who announced you,
the Maven will see you when you are ready.
And just kind of moves away and gestures for you to enter at your leisure.
At this point here, Caveran is here stepping forward. Quick, if there is a door or any form of entry, he ends up opening it for the three brave adventurers of which he is accompanied.
Indeed you do. You step forth and the door kind of slides open. It's very soft. It's interesting material. It almost seems like you can see a thin lattice of mycelium, as if this whole kind of area is just one sort of fungus, one organism. You press it open. It's a bit strange feeling, but you allow the heroes to proceed forth.
My lady, if I would be here and granted the honor, I would introduce you to Akta here, Fireblood, the wonderful Billy Humanman, and of course Mamei, the great and wise of the Warlocks of the human variety. Surely you have heard of their deeds and their adventures, but if not, I will gladly end up telling you the tale. I am pleased, as they are truly grateful to have met in your vast presence.
Go ahead and make me, would you call this, for you, performance or persuasion? What do you feel that you're doing here?
It's all about the show.
Performance it is. Go ahead and make me a performance check. 17, all right. She looks at you.
Okay. Please, tell me more of these heroes. You've piqued my interest.
Well, you end up here taking a look at this one. He walks over to Akta. Akta here, if you end up seeing, is a fine specimen who ends up here standing here tall. Don't mind the horns, for despite the blood that runs through their veins, there is the passion of a lover, one who has had many a conquest and has made many a lady and man swoon. Regardless, it doesn't matter which way it ends being. There is love and passion with that goes within those veins. Billy Humanman. Billy Humanman, who has ended up probing into the depths of the human philosophy and psyche, able to end up answering all questions to that which relates unto his species. Of course, his knowledge is vast, and he will be able to end up answering every question at his leisure. And of course, Mamei, the tried and hardened, who has ended up suffering personal tragedy and is an icon to those who end up suffering great loss and how to stand before it and end up saying, "No, I defy you, fate!"
That is impressive, the group of you. I am very surprised that I have never heard of such obviously seasoned adventurers before. Well, Akta, Billy, Mamei, and your name?
I am Cawly Caveran, the advocate of this particular group of adventurers. I end up serving as their, how shall I end up saying this, a sign to let those who do not know be enlightened into their wisdom and power.
So, the three of you and your speaker.
Advocate, my dear, advocate.
Advocate. You have come in search of a very interesting mushroom.
Yes, mushrooms are what we are interested in today. We have come to trade with you many currencies for this item. By the way, what would you say that your ability ceiling is? You seem quite powerful. I'm very impressed.
I certainly am. Ability ceiling seems a strange question. But
in my opinion, you seem much more powerful than that. What was his name?
The
Barty?
Go on.
I believe it, if I remember correctly, it was Bartholomew. You seem much more powerful than him.
At the mention of Bartholomew, you see her face, which has been just kind of locked into this big, kind of crooked tooth smile. To describe the creature that you're looking at, this witch, more a hag in terms of D&D lore. You see she has a green face covered with kind of various scars and marks, long gray hair that pulls down the back of her neck, fingernails that look like they've never been cut, that stretch out about 2 or 3 inches beyond the ends of her fingers.
Yes, well, he is an unpleasant one. I don't do business with him anymore.
And understandable, my lady. Though I have heard many a tale of him, including the fact that he is a bedwetter.
Go ahead and make a deception on that one, unless you've heard that tale before, in which case you can make a persuasion. But I feel like that was a.
It is a known fact.
Yes.
You want me to cut the whole promo on him?
That old wizard has become incontinent. That is music to my ears. So, tell me, what is it that you want?
It is the bulbous blue cap.
The bulbous... And she pauses for a second. The bulbous blue cap, you say?
Yes, we have come to make a deal. Deal.
It's interesting. We were speaking of Bartholomew, and the 4 of you come in and request the very same mushroom that Bartholomew was refused not but a month ago.
He was refused, you say?
That name is offensive to my ears. I'd rather you not use it in my presence. He is a discredit to the human race. I, Billy Humanman, would know much about humans. don't like the man.
Yeah, I don't even know if he is human.
I think I would rather end up referring to him as a form of cockroach, but nevertheless, you only have so much time to end up hearing me lance him as the boil that he truly is.
So a bulbous blue cap.
And as she's just saying this over and over again, she's now, just by the nature of your order, despite your obvious hate for Bartholomew that all of you share, she's kind of looking around and, her face rests over towards you, Akta.
You haven't said much. What is your position on the wizard?
My position on the wizard is, I'm hoping to get close to him to maybe sacrifice some of his power to my patron.
As you can see, truly he is a cunning one.
Maybe he is.
Now, I would like the group of you to collectively make me I would like everyone to make me a deception check to see if you're able to glean your true intentions here, or to disguise. Wow, oh man, those are some high quality rolls.
Very well. It is good to see such hatred for the old one. But...
And now she turns towards... you see, as she turns towards kind of the wall of the room, the whole thing is made of this kind of interlaced strings of mycelium, and her hand kind of waves down, and you watch as the mycelium just kind of falls and just kind of seems to drift into the ground, revealing kind of a wall behind it where it's more just kind of wall, but there are tons of just small and brightly colored mushrooms that are growing from it.
She says, very well. You may take your pick.
And there's just a wall of mushrooms before you.
I know the one! Without hesitation, he runs right up and clearly picks the red one.
It's yeah, I was gonna say, it's not even blue. You just grab the first one that you see and just pluck it out. She looks at you confused for a while.
He looks very sure of himself, smiling almost triumphantly. Now, which of you three brave heroes will end up returning this here and ended up keeping it from our hated and shared enemy?
Looking over... Mamei, looking over the wall, you don't really know what a bulbous blue cap was going in, but you kind of painted yourselves into a corner at this point where you can't like say it wasn't you getting it because you were here for the bulbous blue cap. So you're looking at them and you're just kind of like, I mean, that one's blue, and it's in kind of a section. They're actually kind of organized by color, and there's like 3 mushrooms where you really think like, oh, well, these are all extremely blue. So these are all a pretty fair shake. You're not really sure which one would be the most bulbous of them. It's a little tough to say, but you have it narrowed down, you think, to one of 3 mushrooms. But you holding up this bright red one, Cawly.
Cawly, a good joke. Yes, I am sure that the fool Bartholomew would believe that to be the bulbous blue.
Oh, you're questioning my knowledge on fauna?
Yeah, I'm telling you that one is... Only a fool would think that is the bulbous blue cap, as it is red.
Okay. As a side note, it's fairly dark in here, right?
Yeah, the light most of the light in here seems to be bioluminescent. It's very dim.
That's
Also,
that's
everyone knows
red. Oh,
lizards are colorblind.
I would like you at this point to make me another deception check with disadvantage, but because Billy is helping you, you have disadvantage because it's ridiculous, but Billy's helping you, so I'll give you advantage. So it's just a flat roll.
Who's rolling it?
I'm sorry. That would be Cawly.
Oh, okay.
At this point, you're starting to see some dawning suspicion. Some dawning suspicion on the hag's face.
Technically not a lie.
Cawly?
You can only see in black and white right now.
Cawly, I believe it's one of those three over there. Says Mamei, pointing out the three that she's narrowed it down to.
Okay.
Oh. He gently tries to end up digging with his tiny claws and places it back in, pats the dirt and pats it on the cap as though a small child. I'm so sorry, my lord. I will end up grabbing this one here very soon. This one, right? He ends up pointing to one of the three.
Well, I mean, we might as well get the other two as well since we're here. We were looking for those two. Yes, we were also looking for those two.
Really?
We know of.
You mentioned only the bulbous blue cap. You didn't mention that you
we didn't know
your
you had-
collection. We didn't know that you had those two.
Oh,
So,
you're interested in the toad's heart as well.
well, you know.
Is that the name? That's not the name I understand it to be. Is it not? My lady, I must apologize for my ignorance in this particular matter. It was fully of me, and I was caught up in the moment. I do apologize greatly, though. Surely, my great comrades, my crew of adventurers would not steer me wrong in this moment.
You seem a bit nervous.
Of course, I stand in the presence of greatness. I stand amongst giants, a small ant upon the soil. How could I not?
One of you. We are to do business.
Yes, Maven. I am actually here for some business. You like the power that you have, and it's wonderful. It's great. It's great power.
I have had
How would
enough
you
of
like-
your words.
How
Show
would you
me
like-
your currency that you have brought.
Yes. Of course.
I assume, show her the bag of gold.
Yes. We have this bag of spores. For you.
You've taken the rapport spores. Why?
Oh, sorry, wrong bag.
I'm assuming advantage.
Oh wait, what are you trying to sleight of hand?
Well, she's looking at the bag of spores at this moment.
What are you trying to grab onto, though?
One of the three that was pointed out to me. I have no idea what I'm grabbing.
Okay, yeah, you just grab one. Let me just get that passive perception from her. Just 1 second.
He failed.
Yeah, you did fail.
Hands off until everything is paid.
Oh.
Here's
Now,
what I'll do. I'll make you a deal. I will give you some of this paltry gold, but I also offer you, in exchange for not only the trifle of the blue cap, but possibly a little more something substantial for a bit of power.
I am growing a bit tired.
Yes, of course. Just the mushroom then.
Just the mushrooms. this will be our last opportunity to do business. I would like to finish this transaction immediately. And frankly, you are all acting a bit odd. I am going to take all of the money in that bag. Each, from what I look at, it appears to be about 500 gold pieces. Am I correct?
Yes. 500 currency pieces.
That is enough to purchase any one of the 3 that you see there. You may take the bulbous blue cap. If you do not select the correct mushroom, I will assume that our business was done under false pretenses.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like to dig in the dirt. So could you hand it to me?
I'm afraid that you don't understand. What I'm saying is, I'm beginning to suspect that you are dealing with me unhonestly. So I want to see that you are the mushroom aficionados that would request such an obscure mushroom.
Miss Maven.
This is a very difficult voice to do.
Miss Maven, I must be honest. My patron is the one that told me to come for the bulbous blue cap. He did not tell me what it looked like. He just said he needed it.
Make a persuasion check, because that is honest. So I think the first real true lie there.
Yes, all us warlocks have the same patron.
She seems at this point still unconvinced.
You have heard my terms.
Mamei's gonna try to identify it from the 3.
Make an investigation check. You've all been looking at it for a while. All right, yeah, Mamei. One of them, it's kind of like one of these blue ones. It's kind of ribbed, and it has sort of it has a very segmented pattern to it that you definitely would not apply the word bulbous to. The other ones are more traditional capped mushrooms that you think you have it down to 1 of 2. You're on a 50-50 right now.
Can
Okay.
I also investigate to see if I can figure out which one is which
yeah.
from the...
Yeah, go ahead. Anyone who wants to at this point may do so.
Can we phone a friend?
No need.
Can you phone a friend? Is my question to you. Do you have a phone and a friend?
The second one I don't think I do.
Well, you have a friend.
In you?
Yes.
You have a friend in me.
You are, you're not entirely sure either, Akta. You come to the same conclusion about the 2, and you're feeling, there's one that you're feeling a little bit better about than the other. There's one that I would say that you are 30% sure. Yeah, you're in about the same place as Mamei, Billy Humanman. You've ruled out one for sure. You're down to a 50-50. Akta, you're like a little bit leaning towards one of them over the other. But it's tough to say when you just don't know what the mushroom is. How do you all want to proceed from here?
Mamei's gonna grab them both.
You're gonna grab them both?
Yeah, Mamei's just gonna grab them both.
All right. You reach out and grab onto the 2 mushrooms and pull them off the wall.
I believe I told you that you only had coin for 1.
Well
Yes.
then,
But we are taking both. And you are being paid with the fact that you met us and our wonderful lizard bard advocate. Good day.
we can always leave our lizard bard here with you. I mean, obviously he's a great orator.
What?
This is interesting, actually.
I mean, you did not pay him for his performance, and that's a little rude.
You see as a gold coin just comes flipping out of the sack of gold towards you, Cawly.
And this is where the oddities show up, because as that coin comes out, more like a dog than anything, he just catches it in his teeth. Sorry, none of you saw that.
I find it an amenable arrangement. I will keep the small kobold. The rest of you may leave, great adventurers, with your extra mushroom, and we'll forget we even had this transaction.
Very well. Cawly, it was nice knowing you.
What?
Farewell.
What?
A deal is a deal. I honor all deals. I mean, Warlock.
You watch as the sack of coins just kind of floats out of your hand and into hers.
So, tell me the tales of my exploits.
As the rest of you turn to go, are you guys all going to abandon Cawly here?
Yeah, Mamei's just gonna walk out with the 2 mushrooms.
Okay.
But Mamei, the great and wonderful, why would you leave me? What? No, Billy Humanman. Humanmans are supposed to believe in some of that, what do you call it, empathy.
Greed?
You must have empathy,
Greed,
right?
yes. Greed is a very good human trait. And it was a good deal.
Octa?
I'm going to have to disagree with the party.
Thank you, Akta. Thank you.
The only other thing we have to trade is our
Sadly.
prowess in battle.
At this point, you see the Maven looks to you, Akta.
Payment is required in one form or the other.
Mamei's just gone.
And frankly, I've grown an attachment to the little thing.
That wears off.
Well,
Yes, it wore off for us in the first 5 seconds of meeting him, but it is against my patron's wishes to abandon and sacrifice the innocent.
Who said anything about sacrifice?
Oh, well, I won't think he'll wear on me. We'll simply make him a spore servant. He'll lose his mind, but I'll get to look at his cute little dragon-like face.
But
See, Cawly, you'll be greatly appreciated here.
And at this point, with kind of a flick of the wrist, you watch as some spores kind of fall out of her, out of the kind of sleeves of her long kind of half coat, half dress. It falls onto the floor. And those of you who were kind of leaving, I think in particularly Mamei and Billy Humanman, you notice a reaction from some of the mushrooms that are in the room beyond. In particularly, that large one kind of shifts and starts moving over in the direction of Cawly.
Well, it seems that my dreams will come true today. Well, Akta, do you really think that Bartholomew would want us to not want us to leave him here?
I am not caring what Bartholomew would like. It is against my patron's wishes to just leave him here.
truly your patron is a kind and gentle individual, one whose great power is only overshadowed by his mercy and great resolve.
The Maven looks up to you.
Very well. I thought I was only going to get one, but I'll take another as well. The two of you, brave adventurers, Mamei Moto and Billy Humanman, you may leave. Rest of you,
And at this point, those kind of those mushrooms, those myconids, as they are called, begin moving closer and closer. Where is everyone standing in this room? It's a pretty large open room. Are you letting them walk past you, Mamei and Billy?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, they go
have
right past
altered the
you.
deal.
All right.
Pray I don't alter it any further.
At this point, while the great and powerful one is going to end up doing it, probably going to hurt me drastically. The two toughs that have joined in the room, Cawly ends up walking up to them almost defeated, sold out by the great and powerful three.
Well, I cannot abide someone who welches on deals. You will have to be destroyed.
But at that point, because he doesn't know any better, he's casting that on the two large, I can only imagine, bruiser-like mushrooms that have just entered.
They're all a little bit flimsy seeming, just because they're mushrooms and so they're just kind of thin, but these ones are big among them for sure. And you cast sleep upon them. You watch as one of them actually just kind of, the arms kind of float down to the sides, and it's still standing. They're still standing. But as it does so, its head's just kind of lopped forward, and you watch as its feet almost seem to like take root into the ground a little bit.
Run!
I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Scatter.
It's gonna be
Such a shame. I had a plan.
and that is going to be a move by these guys. These things are not super fast, as you may imagine. This one, and then... All right. Wait, what? What? Sorry, there's so many...
Zero initiative here.
All right. In that case, the first to act, in this case, after you cast sleep, and then you shout out run, the first to act after that is Mamei.
Mamei's gonna pull out her arcane focus, which appears to be a rifle, and is going to use True Strike on the Green Hag.
Absolutely. You kind of take some, concentrate some magic upon the witch before you and get ready to penetrate through her defenses. Is there anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. In that case, that is going to bring us to the Green Hag. I believe the Green Hag herself. As the Maven of Mushrooms begins walking forward towards the group of you, I would like you all to make perception checks. You watch as her kind of arms and legs, like with each step, she seems to be like pulling up. Oh, I unplugged my headphones by accident. We fix that. With each step, she seems to be pulling up kind of mycelia from the ground. It's almost like she seems almost connected with this room, and she's like struggling to move after you a little bit. Like, you get the impression she does not leave this chamber frequently, but as she steps forward towards you, she's going to be going after you, Cawly.
No!
I would like you to go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw. Oh, you're good. You watch as from her, from kind of around the area of her wrist, just kind of a large collection of spores seem to emanate, and you breathe them in, and for a second your arms feel a little bit numb, and you feel your legs kind of freezing up, but you just spit them out and exhale them, and you are not affected by this ability at this time. And that is going to be her turn. She's kind of just making these struggled steps forward. She only moves about like 10 feet. She seems super slow. That's going to bring us to... it's mushroom time. Two of these mushrooms are going to step up. Actually, one of them is asleep. So one of these mushrooms is going to step up towards you. That's going to be towards you, I think, Billy Humanman, because you were the closest one to him. And as he swings at you, the rapport spore is still going. You're still kind of getting this strange telepathy from the creature. And as it swings up to you, you get this like mental image of you getting hit before you get hit. And it's like a little bit disorienting. Does an 11 hit?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you suffer 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points of poison damage. Wow. It's a firm hit. Are you okay?
As a reaction, I cast Hellish Rebuke.
Absolutely. It's going to make a dexterity save, which is not its strong suit, but it did really well at.
It's half.
Okay, cool. As it latches onto you, you feel some of those mycelia kind of crawl out. The impact is not particularly strong, but you feel like a seeping burn of poison on your arm, where it kind of latches onto you. And as it does so, you rebuke hellishly. Is that an area of effect or a single target?
Wait, so the damage is 6 plus 7?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind, I'm dead.
Oh my god, are you dead?
I'm down.
Okay. Actually, I don't know if any of you have any way to get people back up. This might be a tough one. Oh, wait, no, we have Cawly. Maybe Cawly has something. But as you rebuke back at it, the fire, it seems to kind of dodge out of the way, just surprisingly nimbly from this blast. But as it does, the fire catches it, what flames of it does, and it also seems to burn very quickly, being fairly flammable material in a living form. So that is going to be that foe's turn. The other one is asleep. That is going to bring us to the next guy, which is Akta.
Well, first I would like to place a Hexblade curse on the hag.
All right, you do so.
Then I'm going to hit the hag with an Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. Yeah, that absolutely hits. The Eldritch energy splashes out from your hand. Go ahead and roll damage. 1 point of force damage. As it does, at the last second, it seems like she goes to dodge it and just kind of like grazes her cheek. You can see a little bit of smoke rising up where the force damage, just the friction of it, seemed to burn away some skin, but the attack only hits a glancing blow, unfortunately. Does the Hexblade's Curse do something extra? Like, how does that work?
No, it's I posted the spell card.
Okay, basically, it's like, don't you do extra damage to the target or something?
Not with Hexblade's Curse. Hexblade's Curse, any attack roll you make against this curse target is a critical hit on a roll of a 19 or a 20 on the d20. If the curse target...
No, I think there's...
No, you gain a bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target, and that bonus is equal to your proficiency bonus. So you get an extra, I think, 2 damage on top of that.
Yeah, you're missing some stuff there.
Sure that's not the Hex spell?
It says it on the thing. So I think, for now, I'll rule it. I think you get 2 more damage. So for now, I'll say it dealt 3 damage. And if I'm wrong, we'll worry about it later. But you're going to need that 2 damage, so so accept it. And that is, I think, going to... anything else on your turn?
No.
That is going to bring us to, I believe it was you next, Cawly.
And Billy is down right now. Do I understand this correctly?
Billy is down. You have a hag that's trying to paralyze you. What's the play going to be?
Well, You have to understand. Billy is made out of sterner stuff. Billy is more human than human, and for most mortals he would end up going down, but no, not this day. No, he is built of far sterner stuff. He will rise again, and end up taking all of them down. And his legend will grow from this very incident. And as he ends up doing so, it is the job of the advocate to end up taking the time to actually end up aiding and distracting the foul creature that has decided to try and end up downing such a legend.
Excellent. You're going after the hag or the mushroom. Okay. 13 unfortunately misses.
Is she in range to end up having granting me advantage due to pack tactics?
Oh, absolutely.
So a 19 hits?
Yep. Nice. Oh, wow. Good roll, too. You stab into her. You feel the blade as it pierces. Her flesh is a lot softer than you were expecting, as she seems to be made of almost the same material as the cave around you as well. But you land a strong hit, and you see some of these kind of strands of mycelia kind of flay out from the wound.
Yeah. You don't understand. You are dealing with legends!
You legends will look very good when you're covered in spores.
Which is going to, I think, bring us, as you, with just words of confidence, you are able to bring your ally back from the brink, and you land a good hit, a powerful turn from Cawly here. That is going to bring us to, you, Mamei. Wait, no, Billy.
Oh, good.
Wait, did Billy?
I never went.
You already went. Okay, yeah, you haven't gone yet. So
no.
Yeah, I was
back
messed up. Yeah, Bill, you're back up.
Was a reaction. There's a reaction.
Yeah, it's supposed to throw me off.
Let's see. Is Hexblade's Curse? Is that a bonus action?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I am going to cast Curse on one of the Mygonids.
Yeah, you do so.
Which one is hurt? Is one of them hurt?
The one that you burned, it's still on fire. The vision that you had before of burning is now becoming a reality.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast on that one.
Okay, great. And then you're going to.
I will point at it and eye it.
You eye it.
And I will. Cast Toll the Dead.
Oh, does it make a save, or is it an attack roll, or?
It's not.
It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it's a wisdom saving throw, DC 13. I don't know why it did that whole thing.
It did not make it.
Okay.
Oh,
so
no,
it's a 1d12. I got an 11, so it's 11 necrotic damage.
Okay, cool. With the ringing of this bell, you toll the dead. It's already on fire, and as the bell tolls for this mushroom, you see it just kind of fall over to the ground and collapse, and the fire continues to just consume it upwards.
Okay, as it dies, I get 4 hit points back. I am back to full.
Radical. You are back to full health as this one dies. You see some of the some smaller mushrooms are kind of like some of these smaller myconids are starting to make their way forward. The other kind of larger one is still asleep. That I think is going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which is now Mamei. Sorry.
All right. Mamei's gonna shoot the witch with a guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt. Go for it. 19 definitely hits. Okay. As you, this bolt of radiant energy flies through the air towards the hag. Just, she calls out to you. It strikes into her, and she now kind of glows this dull light as you call upon the power of your patron. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn? She takes a meaty hit. She's more of these spores and mycelia are being just torn apart as it's revealing that she is more mushroom than hag.
Yeah. Also, I just want to note that the next attack roll made against her is done with advantage.
Yes. Yep, I'm with you. But is that all for your turn at this point?
Yeah.
Good hit. I believe that's going to bring us to her turn at this point. And she is going to... Oh, lost my character sheet. 1 second. She is going to make an attack against you. Oh, and going to do another thing. All right. I would like you at this point to make me a Constitution saving throw, Akta.
Oh god.
You watch as the spores kind of roll out of her hand, and she just kind of flashes her hand, a cloud of spores. They seem a different color than the last ones. And as they puff out towards you, her other hand, for a brief moment, you're not even sure what happened, and then everything gets strange as you begin, and there's just a hand that's reaching out towards you as her kind of claw-like hands reach out and try to rake towards you as you are just falling to the ground. You are currently poisoned and incapacitated. She's going to make an attack against you. Oh my god. You might just be dead in one hit.
Yeah, I am.
Oh god.
Like straight up dead.
Yeah. Akta, you watch as everything is so slow, and there's just like a hand moving towards you. And as the hand just pierces through your stomach, you watch as spores, all of you around, and you're feeling bad, and this feels terrible, but it's also very confusing and different. And as you fall, you just kind of fade into black. And as the hag stands there, hand now almost kind of partially inside of the now clearly slain Akta, you watch as these kind of mycelium are starting to reach out and spread around Akta's body, which almost seems like it's trying to now kind of like wrap around and maybe Akta start moving again under the control of these spores. Oh my god. That is going to be it for Foe turn. That is going to bring us, I think, to you, Cawly, as one of your allies falls.
He doesn't know what to do. There's a legend who has just been slain by this shroom thing. Well, no matter, because after all, the other two were more than capable of taking on this challenge. That
Don't be a
said,
fool. Run. Billy says.
Yeah.
You still have telepathy, so speech is pretty free in your brains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
We have the mushrooms. We can get out of here. The tiefling is dead and absorbed.
First action.
Okay.
As a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. You will inspire who?
Billy, you have here spoken wise words. Truly, we must not end up remaining here. We got what we came for, and I've already done the foul creature. That being said, follow up. Oh, why does it keep doing that for me every time? There we go. At the hag.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He ends up turning to the hag and saying, you worthless, weak, uneducated, incapable, only a shadow of what Bartholomew's greatness will end up incurring, and yet you end up looking upon him with spite because there is nothing but bitterness and pity in you. There is nothing worthwhile in here, save for your pitiful shrooms that will end up being taken once we end up returning and end up laying waste to you because you will be battered, beaten, and destroyed.
The hag kind of slowly, you can't see her face at this moment. You can't see her face this moment because she's still kind of in the process of, it seems like she's almost trying to take over Akta's fallen body. But the head kind of pulls from out from the side, and you see that same just crooked smile on her face.
Ah!
You I will not possess. I would miss that voice too much. Unfortunately, she succeeds on her saving throw against this vicious mockery. Are you going to move at all, or are you going to stay resolute?
Running!
Okay.
Running!
I suspected that might be the case. You run away. There are some of these much smaller, almost child-looking like mushrooms. A lot of the mushrooms are still kind of just in their circle doing this meditation, not having been like called to action at this moment, it would seem. And a lot of them, you felt those strange, like, hallucinatory thoughts from Akta's mind as you fell. A lot of them are kind of in this similar state of, like, being unable to move, as they are hallucinating as well, it would seem, as they're melding. But you run as far as you can. You get a bit of a distance away. That is going to, I think, bring us to, I believe it is the mushrooms, which is still asleep. And then that is going to be Billy. Oh, wait, no. It would be Akta, but it is instead Billy.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to my speed, and then behind me cast a quick Eldritch Blast at the closest. What's the closest Myconid to me? Or
there's the sleeping one.
Enemy.
There's one that's kind of sleeping. That's still kind of a bit of a ways away from you, and then there are some like I said, there's some of these smaller ones that are now kind of coming out and getting ready to come after you. That are.
Are they in front of us?
Yeah, there's some that are in front of you. There's some that are kind of on the sides of you, but you could go after one of the ones that's in front of you.
Okay. Well, I'll try to blast a way out of here for us, in front of us. I'll let sleeping shrooms lie.
All right.
Did that?
Yeah, you gotta click it on the front of the character sheet.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yep, roll damage. One of these little kind of baby spores, as it hits it, it kind of like explodes upward, and you hear in the telepathy, just,
You will become one with the circle.
Maniacal laugh.
Ah!
In the childlike voice of this baby mushroom, that is going to killing children. That is going to bring us to.
As a sidebar, this is the
Mamei.
second time I have killed baby mushrooms as a level 1 character.
Oh man, yes it is, isn't it? Anyway, Mamei.
Mamei is going to do Eldritch Blast on the hag.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess that misses,
Yeah, that does unfortunately miss.
and then she's going to run.
Okay, you begin moving your way over towards the exit as well. All of you are now kind of gathered over. On the exit. The sprouts are going to take their turn as they were synced with the. They were synced with the hag. They move extremely slowly, these tiny mushrooms, but the two that were closest to the exit are able to shuffle over to you. One of them already having been hit by Billy. One of them is going to go after you, Billy, and one of them is going to go after you, Mamei, I think. 15 to Billy.
That hits.
and a critical failure against you, Mamei. As one of these mushrooms goes to like the little mycelia go to wrap around you, and you just kind of like kick it out of the way. It's so small on the ground, you can just knock it away with ease. And the hag on its turn is going to use its ability to animate the body of Akta, which you see the mycelia spread and are covering now almost the whole body. You see a couple of like small mushrooms starting to like grow almost instantly off of Akta's fallen form, and begins to step forward. Akta, what is your, do you have a weapon that you carry?
Yes, I have two. I have a light crossbow and a quarterstaff.
All right, I'd like you to make an attack against. I would like you to make an attack against Cawly with your light crossbow.
No!
6. Still, maybe somewhere still deep within, Akta fighting back, knowing aims the bow. You just watch at the last second as the crossbow just kind of twitches out of the way and the bolt flies just a little bit to your right, Cawly. In that case, that's the hag's turn in the sports room. That's going to bring us to you now. I believe you are up, Cawly.
Yeah. Well, Bobby, for me to end up just letting Akta's sacrifice go in vain. So this is a run full sprint, full movement as much as humanly possible, taking every action, bonus action, movement action, standard action, verbal action, bowel action if he has to, just to get out of there.
You will provoke 2 opportunity attacks from these little tiny ones. Are you cool with that?
Yes.
3 and a 13.
Neither of them. He just ends up ducking and dodging. He is a master nimble creature. After all, he is just as small, capable of dodging great feats. In fact, he was capable once of dodging 1,000 arrows coming down, blotting out the sun.
Duck and dodge out of the way of these 2 little myconids. This is easy for you. And you, a master of the retreat, duck up the stairs as fast as you can. As you return up these kind of mycelia-ridden steps, as you get up near the top, you can see the same one that greeted you as you entered in, one more of these larger ones that's there, standing in front of the threshold waiting for you.
What have you done to this circle?
And it looks at you kind of threateningly. I'm assuming you could move up. You could move up adjacent to him, but you have moved 40 feet at the point that you would now see the creature as you're kind of rounding up the stairs.
We have ended up defying the circle. We have ended up conquering the circle. We have taken what we came for, and now we leave this place as conquerors.
How are you going to like move? Because you could try and run up and past, but they would get another opportunity attack against you. And this one's a little bit more of an intimidating one, the first one you met.
Let me check. Cawly is no fool. You have to understand. He does not do the fighting. No, that's the job for heroes. So Cawly will end up moving out to the side, and I don't know if you are familiar with this old bit, but typically the heel manager gets the attention of the person for a low blow from behind. So he's setting that up.
Excellent.
One of the other 2 are coming.
You're sort of, you kind of move up and then get ready to kind of take a help action, so to speak. I dig it. That is going to bring us, I think, to, if memory serves, it is now Mushroom that is asleep. So that would actually be now this Mushroom, because he's on the same plane as these ones, or he would be reacting a little bit slower. So I'll let him go with that's going to be Billy, I think.
Okay. Can I get to where Cawly is?
Yes.
I would have had to run past him, so.
Yeah, you can get up to where Cawly is. The 2 little mushrooms already use their opportunity attack, so they can't attack you.
So I will do that.
Yep, you get up to where Cawly is. You go 30 feet and you see Cawly kind of ducked as this staircase kind of curves, so you can't see everything ahead. But you can see Cawly ducked to the side, and you hear him make that kind of speech at the one mushroom that is still remaining. So he's talking to a foe up ahead. How do you want to proceed? That's once you've used your movement, you can't quite see the mushroom yet. But you've seen Cawly, and you know that he's reacting to something.
Gosh. I can't. Oh, can I ready an action? I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna ready an action to where I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast as soon as I can see this mushroom.
In that case, top of the initiative, Mamei.
Eldritch Blast on the hag, and then continue running.
All right, yeah, go ahead and make another attack. Another pot shot as you're moving off. Oh, wow. Not just a pot shot, it's a good hit. Roll damage.
There you go.
Another 3 points of force damage as it echoes up. That is going to... then you're going to run upwards. And so you can get up to... basically, you're at the same spot that... Billy is, kind of out of sight of the mushroom, watching as Cawly is kind of setting up this move, which it's not going to be that mushroom's turn. As the Myconid steps forward towards you, Cawly, it's walking, kind of dragging its feet along the steps. It moves up to you and gets ready to make an attack. As it pulls into view, I will let you make your attack roll with advantage because Cawly has kind of helped to set up this situation. So, I'm sorry, Billy, go ahead and make me your Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Oh, I lost my music.
What is the... Okay, Eldritch Blast, I thought that was just a 1d10 on damage. What is the +3 there?
It's attacked.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So roll damage on that. Definitely hits. 3, you have advantage. You can see if you crit.
No, it's because the second one critted.
Yeah. So yeah, roll again, Billy, and see if you got a crit.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so 3 points of damage. The Eldritch Blast hits the side of the mushroom, which... and it's not enough to take it out as it continues forward towards you, Cawly. It's going to make an attack against you. A 5 misses, I assume?
Nimbly! You don't... master of the escape!
I'm sorry, I underestimated the nimbleness. Excellent. That is going to bring us once more top of the initiative, Mamei. Or wait, no. That doesn't make any sense. It's going to bring us to Cawly. It's your move.
Knowing that the brave heroes are coming, he will end up trying to end up maneuvering to end up turning its back to the oncomers. In doing so,
are you using your feature?
Yep.
You
okay. Allow me,
please.
He ends up almost dropping to his knees, like, please forgive me. I didn't interrupt the circle. It was not my fault. I don't deserve this. I didn't want to be taken. I wasn't a part of the trade.
You will understand when you become one.
As it's getting ready to go after you, it's now seeing this moment of opportunity to take you out of the picture, granting your allies disadvantage. Not disadvantage, advantage on their attacks against it. Excellent. That is going to bring us now to you, Billy. You have advantage on any attacks against the creature.
All right. I'm just gonna do Eldritch Blast. Let's see.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that crit damage. Oh, yeah. This huge Eldritch Blast. You watch as it strikes. As Cawly is there begging on the ground, you watch as it hits the side of it. The mushroom is almost completely defeated at this point. The last bastion between you and safe exit. That all on your turn, or anything else, Billy? That's all not quite enough to take it, but it's not quite enough to bring this one down, but it's very near defeat.
Okay. No, I will get a little closer to where I'm standing by Cawly.
Excellent. You get up next to your ally, who's now cowering. That is going to bring us then to Mamei, top of the initiative. What do you do?
Eldritch Blast on the mushroom in front of me.
Yep, go for it. Advantage. Oh my god! In this moment where Cawly has distracted your foes, the two of you both just kind of look at each other and both take out. How do you guys fire your Eldritch Blasts? Like what?
Oh my gosh, we're like back to back with one hand out.
It's the most badass thing of all time.
I like to remind everybody, my arcane focus is a rifle. I am shooting my Eldritch Blast out this rifle at this mushroom that is right in front of me.
You levy your gun forward, and you, Billy, point your. Does it come out of the sword or out of the?
Yeah, it comes out of the sword.
I suspected it would, and as the sword points and the rifle points, with these two Eldritch Blasts, this magic moment when your lips are close to this mushroom, and the mushroom is just exploded in a pile of small chunks of, just edible and stringy mycelia, and this mushroom is destroyed. You're like watching it, just about to hit you. Cawly, and then the brave heroes who you have provided this opportunity. Your faith is not shaken in these great heroes as they explode.
They explode? No, you don't understand. This thing has erupted in a spectacle of eldritch magic.
And at this point, actually behind you, you can see Akta moving up the stairs towards you. And as Akta goes once more, the crossbow out and getting ready to fire at you, you watch as Akta just vanishes and disappears in a puff of smoke. All of the mycelia and mushrooms gone as Akta, you wake up within Bartholomew's shop. And you just hear over from within, just an incredible frustrated noise from the hag within, as the rest of you are free now to escape your prize in hand.
So we do the Scooby-Doo run?
Yeah, you do Scooby-Doo. As all of you have made it out, mushrooms in tow. Eventually you return once more to Bartholomew's shop and say, good to see you all back, adventurers. Now, tell me, how did everything go?
Swimmingly.
Akta, you're there once more, as you have been revived. Dear Akta here was, unfortunately, I see, it didn't quite make it out. I trust that things weren't exactly smooth sailing, so to speak.
It went exactly as planned. Our good dear Cawly acted his part supremely.
This highly praise coming from you, oh great one. Yes, it is true, for their cunning and guile has ended up outdoing the foul creature, the withered wretch that ends up standing within that horrible moss-infested, fungi-ridden cave. No, without their cunning and the noble sacrifice of Akta, this would not have been made. But truly, these are great adventurers and worthy of entrance into Bartholomew's troop. They are, in fact, the prodigies that will end up elevating this entire industry of Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime.
Did you get the mushrooms?
We got 2 mushrooms.
Oh, excellent. It's boar's bottom I see you got as well, in addition to the bulbous blue crab. Wonderful. And the 3 of you are absolutely allowed as adventurers as well, and you, Mr. Cawly. You are most certainly an adventurer proper as well now, too. All of you, I have for you your payment, and he hands each of you 100 Bartholomew bucks, and you've all gained 1 experience point, and congratulations on completing this adventure.
This and more can be found on Pete and Jeremy's D&D adventure. You, too, can end up playing in such a game to end up enjoying a single one-shot, to end up joining and enjoy the mayhem that is the glory of this channel. Please hit that follow button, subscribe, and end up joining the Discord to end up joining us for further adventures.
Very meta of you,
It was just Cawly just like looking in at the camera. As the theme music plays out. Jeremy, you here?
I was gonna say, need we say anything more?
I I assume as level
That
one.
was excellent. Well done.
That's
guys.
a very fun one. I assume that all of you do not require to shop, as you each should only have 100 Bartholomew bucks, all level ones. But if anyone has something they do want to purchase, they are welcome to do so now.
Well, Ideal has something to purchase.
Oh, very good.
Well, in that
what can
case,
I
let's-
get? Oh, wait, I got to play the music.
We gotta jump down to the shop.
If you need a magic item, you know where to stop. Just head